Okay, going live. Turn that down a little bit. Good morning. I think we are live.
Hi, Chat. Welcome to Cheeseland. Enjoy your stay.
I'm joined this morning by Shiloh, my daughter, and Pockets is in the back. She should be up here soon. But yeah, if you're listening, just let me know that you can hear me okay. I did do a mic test a little bit earlier when I was, not live, and it sounded okay then. But you can just let me know that I'm coming through okay, and that the music's not too loud.
If we're in a cheese grater, let us know.
If we're in a cheese grater, I mean, it looks like the levels are pretty well decent, so.
Pretty uncheese grated.
Pretty uncheese grated.
The full
Look,
block of cheese.
I am live. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful. Well, good afternoon, beautiful nightmare. Good afternoon, Onyx. Good afternoon, Frank. Awesome, cool. Glad we are loud and clear. Probably.
Onyx.
It's also
It's a rock dude.
It's also a gem. It's a black gem, is an onyx. It might even be a color, like emerald is a color because emerald is a gem. Not sure. That's something like, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on. Frank says he hears nothing, but everybody else is hearing me loud and clear. Frank, maybe check the settings. Possibly. Though, if you didn't hear me ask for the mic check, then how would you know to respond with saying you hear nothing? Aha! Always messing with me, dude. Always. But, what are friends for? Good afternoon, dog lover. How are you? It is almost springtime. I cannot wait for springtime. I need to get back out into the woods and enjoy some nature.
Whoa!
Like, I don't care how cold it is out right now or how much snow we've got on the ground. Damn it, it is almost spring. I am not waiting anymore. Sorry, Mother Nature. I'm making the decision for you. I am doing good. Thank you very much. Sorry, I am having a breakfast yogurt. I am doing very good. Thank you for asking. I hope everybody else is doing very well. I think Pockets and Shiloh are doing well as well.
Hi, good morning. I'm doing quite good.
Pockets has been bebopping around the house since before I gotten up, and I will bebopping, man. You've been doing all kinds of stuff, everything, like you name it, cleaning, laundry, painting the outside of the house. I mean, she's done it all.
It's too cold to paint outside. It's too weird.
And Shiloh is playing around with her laptop.
I'm on Twitter.
So she seems like a pretty happy child. If you're on Twitter, I'd be careful. It's a little charged on Twitter.
It depends on who you follow. And what community.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got
See?
up at 8 o'clock
Exactly.
this morning. Everybody else is asleep either on the couch or on the floor. Mind you, the bigger one is on the floor next to me on where I sleep on the couch. And I woke up 8 o'clock this morning. Didn't even have tea or a cigarette yet, and I just got to cleaning. Now I've taken my meds. In about 20 minutes, I'll probably be a zombie and fall asleep.
You may see me let the family take a little bit more of the lead today. My throat has been bothering me off and on. I've been kind of losing my voice and then getting it back and then losing it again. So,
I keep yelling about work.
It's been a struggle. I'm telling you, it's Friday. I came home. I was very tired when I came home. It was a very easy day. I only spent, half the day at the office itself. It was pretty slow throughout the entire day. But like on my drive home to come in and log home. Yeah, and I do work when I get home. It's not like I just say like, oh yeah, no, I want to go work from home. Like I do actually like log in on the computer and go to work when I get home. But on that ride home about halfway through the day, again, real easy day. I just got incredibly tired. So, and then I did my narrating Friday night, and like I just finished up my narrating on Friday, and I lost my voice. Feels like it's starting to come back now, which is good. I just wanted to go ahead and say that could be a possibility. Hello, PA. How are you?
Hi, Pa. Or Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's why it's PA Nightmares.
I like Pa.
It's PA Nightmares because of PA. That's what he lives in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is an awesome place.
Your name is now Pa.
No.
Yeah.
No, because
We've had this before. You should be on. We've had this conversation before. You should be honored that the child has dubbed you a name.
Well, I will say there's no point in arguing with the child. In that point, she takes very much after some other people I know. You're stubborn like an ox.
The other day I was in gym and my friend just kept making Rosalina sounds and I was like, why? Why are you like this? I don't know how that's relevant to the conversation, but I just made a wow noise. Why not? Let's just throw that in.
Okay. Do you like yogurt?
I can't eat yogurt.
Oh yeah.
Papa, I'm lactose intolerant.
I keep forgetting that you can't eat yogurt.
Give her some yogurt so she can hurl on her laptop.
That's why I always ask her. And she's like very lactose
I don't
intolerant.
even have no chocolate.
I can't have a single Hershey Kiss without the need to throw up.
Shy can call
Mom went and got you.
Shy can call me Paw if she wants.
But you can have all the dark chocolate you want.
I said, "Bah."
Oh, whatever. Well, he's whatever you. Man, that is a grating sound. Can we change it? Yeah, to something else.
She does that all the time.
You sound like a duck being hit by a car.
It's the same thing, but like,
I'm going to banish you to your room.
I'm gonna make you a duck and then hit you with a car. In a video game, TOS. In a video game, in Minecraft. I will make a Minecraft mod.
It'd be fun to watch you try and do that with all your deleted save files.
Don't you deleted save file. I can start a new world.
Goodbye, Splatoon.
Excuse me? We don't touch Splatoon. No. Bye-bye, Clem.
See, Frank is like me. He is tolerant of all lactoses. He's not a lactosist.
I'm not a lactose in either. My body is, excuse me. I say cheese all of the time. He's a cat.
And Kira is playing with the sun.
Onyx, be safe out there. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for saying
It was nice seeing you, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Banish you to the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm. Is that... Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. Why did...
I kept
Oh
thinking...
my God.
I kept thinking Superman.
Superman.
Yes. And Superman 2.
I don't want Superman.
Oh, you should.
What are you eating?
My foot. She's talking to the cats. Or the
Yeah,
dog.
I was looking.
I was talking to the two kittens. I caught Odin chewing on a freaking bread pie yesterday.
He likes bread.
Like, no.
Just like we're gonna make a time machine out of bread. Because I'm thinking that maybe with the use of with neutrinos, might be able to change the chemical composition of toast back to bread. And if you can use that in conjunction with toasting the bread into toast again, it should create a paradox strong enough to rip a fabric in the space-time continuum. So I'm going to make a time machine using bread as the flux capacitor. A detoastifying machine, as it were.
Guys, you're so lucky. You
This
only have to deal
is
with
what
him.
makes time travel possible.
You guys have to deal with him in the form of text and like half an hour to an hour live streams. I have to deal with him all day, all the time. And it's scary, to be honest. I live in constant fear, I do.
Live in constant fear.
I sleep.
Constant
live in
fear.
constant-
You live in constant bliss.
Fear. Every time you pass my room, man, I just start quaking.
What's he gonna start talking about now?
What? Cleaned out the jungle.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good show. I like the first few seasons. And then I just couldn't stay with it anymore, but I did like the first few seasons. They were pretty good.
What if you season of what?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I tried rewatching it for like nostalgia, and then I was like, you know what? This is kind of boring. I don't know how I watched this when I was younger.
You're younger.
Because I was younger. Do you remember when I used to be like obsessed with Glitter Force?
Yup. I remember when you were obsessed with Glitter Force, and I hated it. I was like, oh my god, why is this child into Glitter Force? She likes Friday the 13th and Full Metal Alchemist.
Until
And then she watches Glitter Force, and she becomes obsessed with it.
Glitter Force is basically like a children's anime for those
I
who
know.
don't know. I liked it for a while, and then I realized that, oh wait, every episode literally follows the exact same structure.
Uh-huh.
Except for the first 4 where they find the girls to make them into mannequin girls or whatever. And everything followed the same structure. They would just walk around for a bit, find a weird thing that was based on an inanimate object, like a toaster or something, and then it would have a big nose for some reason, and then they would kill it. And then the episode was over. And it was like that for 3 seasons.
I mean, that is a pretty accurate description of Glitter Force, especially if you want to throw in some, like, you know, teenage girl values. And
They came out with a new one that was, like, slightly better because it wasn't just the same episode reincarnated.
I can't
over
watch
and
Glitter
over
Force. Listen, usually you have
that when I was, like,
great
8.
suggestions. Great suggestions.
I have great
Hey,
suggestions
Dad,
now.
watch Death Note. Hey, Dad,
I don't watch
watch
Death Note.
Fairy Tale.
Yes. Watch SAO. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. You
You're
know,
welk. You are a welk.
I am a welk.
Happy
Now.
snails to you.
I'm gonna tip your chair over. You're like those people that jump on others for their typos when they're texting, except you do it in real life.
What?
Yeah. So if I speak a typo, you're like, you're a welk. Welk! Shame!
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Let's go back into your little laptop world.
I like going on Roblox and then making fun of children that don't know how to use grammar. And, well, not making fun, more of just correcting them and then putting a smile at the end of it. For example, somebody spelled no, like I know, as N-O. So then I corrected them and said no, and they got really mad. Somebody also used the wrong type of there. So that was fun.
Yeah, I can't help but correct those either.
Don't kill your sister.
I don't know, they're playing.
They're committing tax fraud.
They're kittens.
I
That's
don't
what
know
they
why
do.
I keep saying tax fraud.
Kittens play.
How's chat doing? I should open the stream up
On your laptop so
Oh
you
my
can
God.
read it.
so that I can read the chat.
I think Pockets is busy on Discord.
I'm dying.
I don't have nothing to say.
Oh, that's fine. I was just giving an update.
Of course. Sorry. sorry. I'm upsetty spaghetti. I'm
Wrath.
upsetty.
Well, I only bring up Wrath's. But no, he doesn't correct me all the time. Sometimes he does, but not all the time. He lets it go. Nobody really is like a typo enforcer. Yeah, trying to be correct with the new rules of the world nowadays. A typo enforcer. You know, obviously we all pick on each other and stuff like that every now and then, but like nobody's like, it's like every time. Doughboy. If I was going to say anybody was a freaking grammar Nazi, it's Doughboy. Just so you're all aware, a little tidbit about my buddy Doughboy.
Hide your kids and hide your terrible spelling. Because Doughboy's coming to town.
Hey, Fuzzy, how are you? I did not see you stop in because I've been talking. Sorry. I enforced the typos. You do. It's okay. It's cool. Somebody's got to enforce the typos. But you're not like, again, you're not a jerk about it. I guess is the best way to put it. The least crass way to put it.
Look at this. Look at the beans and blood.
I see.
Now we don't have to rely on your stupid things if you have sound or not.
You're right. You could always bring it up and help me do the sound test.
Exactly. I'm cool. What? Why? I love how you just have stock images, but blood and beans. Like, I never realized that until now.
They're not all stock images.
That's a stock image. The
Yes,
other
it
one was a
is.
stock image.
Yeah, most of them are.
You said not all of them.
They're not. Not all of them. Some of them were given to me by... One was given to me by... Yup. One was given to me by Beautiful Nightmare. The other one was given to me by Somber.
They look like split up muffins. I'm sorry.
Be gentle on my beans.
Why did you put
That
the
sounded
resolution
terrible.
so high up? What the heck?
What are you talking about?
Look at that! Why did you decide to do that? Why?
What? You make it all red and grainy? Yeah, it's called threshold.
It's
a
called
threshold.
why?
It's a threshold filter.
Okay, but why?
Because this is a horror channel,
But this.
not a coffee shop. Hey, Pimp Demon, how are you? Happy Sunday. Good afternoon. I am still sipping my first cup of coffee here. I know I'm kind of slacking.
Happy New Year's.
Oh. I'm going to try and get through the day today with no VR.
We're gonna find out that you're secretly just addicted and you're gonna
Get through narrating, jump into VR. Get through making up videos, jump into VR. Get through shopping, jump into VR. So I think I'm going to take the day off of VR today. Probably would be good for me. I've been spending a lot of time in Zenith. But I kind of knew that was going to happen. It's an MMORPG in virtual reality. So I knew I was going to spend some time there. But I think a day off will be good. I gotta finish up making up 2 tidbits, so I can get those uploaded. Got a little bit of cleaning I really would like to get done. So yeah, it's gonna be my plan moving forward throughout the day. I'm gonna be productive. Fuzz, be gentle on my beans. Yes, that came out pretty wrong. It didn't really mean it to sound like that, but yeah, always be gentle on the beans in every instance. Excuse me, that was the coffee resettling.
People need to make quote books for us.
I think you already have one being started.
I do.
People take all kinds of awesome Shiloh quotes, and also they quote me too.
I
They say
just
I'm
crave
quoting
funny,
this,
dude.
and
I
then they
just
put what I
crave
said
funny.
in quotes and say by L.W. Sutton. And it makes me wonder, like, I know they go to Nightmare's quoting realm. At least they were for a while. Pretty sure they still go there. But beyond that, where are all these quotes getting saved to? Because what am I really going to be known for, like, you know, after my time has passed and I've moved on to the great beyond? Will it be my books?
People are going to be selling your quote books.
Will it be, like, all of the crass things that I've said, like, in VR around my friends that they've been like, I'm going to quote this? I'm like, no, it's funny, but...
Who cares about live, laugh, love? I'm a Swiss cheese doodle on my wall.
That's good. I like cheese doodles.
I did
I like
not
Swiss
mean to
cheese, so I gotta say, yeah. I want to know what a Swiss cheese doodle would taste like now.
You don't.
Actually,
It's
I do.
disgusting,
I want a Swiss cheese. I like Swiss cheese, and I like cheese doodles.
Yesterday,
Provolone cheese doodle.
Stop.
No, that's amazing. We need a provolone cheese doodle.
Yesterday,
And squeezable bacon.
I explained to my friend how blue cheese was made, and like
It's
the
moldy.
history of blue cheese. Wanna know how blue cheese was made?
Thank you, Wrath, for quoting what has been deemed my most famous quote.
What?
No, you can read it. I'm not saying it out loud. You have your laptop pulled up.
Oh God.
That was a New Year's Eve quote. I was drinking. I was around friends, and somebody was trying to take a VR chat. We had somebody join our party, basically, that wasn't like part of the group. They just showed up in the world, which is fine. But they were trying to take upskirt pictures of Beautiful Nightmare. And they were trying to do that because it's VR, they were sitting inside myself. So we're both sitting down in chairs, and they were a small person basically sitting down inside of me trying to take pictures of Beautiful Nightmare, who was across the table from me, which is where that quote came from. Not my most eloquent moment, but effective. Effective.
Do you guys want to know the history of
Now Fuzzy wants the t-shirt.
Guys, do you want to know the history of blue cheese? Type yes in chat. We're like the video.
Very cool. That's a good... Sorry, I'm not interrupting your Swiss cheese. Pimp Teben, very awesome. Good choice. Beautiful Nightmare is a fantastic narrator, and she's a fantastic author. You'll see I feature a lot of her... Beautiful Nightmare is Charlie Blackmore. You'll see I feature a lot of her stories on my channel. She has several published books, and a new one on the way that I've been waiting for. Just saying, it's coming. But yeah, very good choice. You're going to get a lot of really good original content over there, for sure. Yes, they sat down, because you can sit in the same chairs, basically. So if I sit in a chair in VR chat, and I clip to that chair, somebody else is also able to sit in that chair and clip to that chair. Basically, if they're bigger than me, they'd put themselves outside. I'd be inside of somebody else's avatar. If they're smaller than me, they're going to be inside my avatar, but they can still see out. So that's what he was doing, was sitting in my chair as a really, really small avatar so he could see underneath the table. And again, it's just her avatar, but I still felt that that was kind of rude and uncalled for, so I called him out on it. And that's why I said that. And like I said, not my most eloquent moment, but effective.
And this is my dad, everyone.
And this is my dad, everyone. The funny thing is Shiloh was there.
I was?
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve when we did VR. New Year's Eve in VR. Remember that? Yeah, it was then. It was all of us together on the rooftop of Club Echo. You were. And your mother was there too. She was on the computer, on desktop mode.
Oh, Jesus, I just put the nose to bed on.
That's so cute.
So, I mean, I don't really hide things, like, from my children. Like, you know, obviously I don't, like, expose them to, like, the worst of, like, here, look at it! Look at this terrible terribleness that you're not supposed to ever see. And it's gonna traumatize you. Like, no, I don't do that, but, like,
No,
I
but,
don't...
like, taking our child to, like, a funeral...
Or, but again,
A
to
lot
each
of
their
people
own.
don't do that.
To each their own. But I've never, like, if I'm watching a scary movie, I just bring her out here and sit her down. If she doesn't. But any of the children that I raised, if any of them ever got scared, then I would, like, sit down and explain it to them. Like, you know, this is how it's made, and this is how they make the effects, and this is how they cut away the cameras. And they get really interested in how they're making this seem so real. And, I don't know. It just kind of... It's kind of put Shiloh on a different level.
She's desensitized.
It's not that she's desensitized.
God.
It's... She knows a lot more than other children of the same age know.
Like how blue cheese was made.
Like how blue cheese is made.
Bless you.
Though I imagine maybe somewhere in the world there is another 12-year-old that knows how blue cheese is made. Possible. Just saying.
Can I explain? Do you guys want to know, like...
I miss Shiloh. She's right here.
Do you guys want to know the history behind blue cheese, or do you want to know just how, like, blue cheese is made?
That's the Shiloh. And I imagine you're talking about the Locust Lakes, because the last one I saw you comment on was the Demon's Dozen. So, all I can say is just keep watching. You're almost done with the series. You're getting pretty close to the end. Some really, like you said, wow, this is getting crazy. The Locust Lakes get more and more and more crazy right up until the very last story.
Yes is not an answer, dog lover. No, it's not just guys.
No, I kind of preview stuff, Frank.
Okay.
There are some things I won't watch with the whole family.
The history? Okay, the history time. History
Blue mold.
time.
Blue mold is mold on mold. It's moldy mold.
Apparently a shepherd left his snack of bread and cheese in a cave. When he returned months later, the cheese had become infested with the natural mold that was growing in the cave, and voila, cheese.
But so he decided to eat it?
Do you want more information?
No, but like, what would...
This natural mold is refined and used for almost all blue cheeses simply by adding the mold culture to the cheese milk during the cheese making process.
Yes.
Most blue cheeses are either injected with mold, as fancy word, or the mold mold is mixed right with the curds, as it is different type of cheese that also is very unpronounceable for the small brain that I own. To ensure even distribution of the mold and many imported cheeses.
This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. This is the problem with people. People always say, like, people only live till like 25, only live till 30. Well, no kidding, people didn't live very long. Because imagine it's way back when you have some bread and some cheese, you leave it in a cave for 3 months while you're out doing stuff. And then you go back to this cave eventually and you're like, oh, there's that bread and cheese. I was looking for that. And you see that it's covered in mold. And you're like, I wonder if this would...
From rising poisoning.
I wonder if this moldy cheese... I wonder if the mold makes the cheese taste better.
Can I finish?
No. And then this person is eating moldy cheese. Like, that's how blue cheese was invented. They kind of skipped over the part where he decided to try it. That's what I was getting at. I don't care about the process.
And many imported cheeses must still be aged in the original caves where they were developed to bear the name, because branding and stuff. Do you wish to become wiser about this blue milk chunk?
No.
Yes, you do. Mold flourishes in contact with oxygen, so air must reach inside of the cheese. But they want to hear it. They want to. See, Frank's like, do it. That he might not be talking about this, but he also might be.
That's awesome, Pimp Demon. Actually, somebody, Les Jones, did that a few years ago when I had my old channel up and running. He was a really big fan, still is, big fan of the Locust Lake series. And he made a Casper Stoical mask and dressed up as Casper Stoical for Halloween. A full-grown adult. Like, the guy has, like, a professional job and stuff like that. He just really liked the Locust Lake stories. And, yeah, he actually did a really good job. Like, he made the mask from the descriptions of stories, like how we described the mask. He created, and Doughboy actually had the mask. He actually made a Casper mask himself. And I'll tell you, Les's mask is basically spot on to Doughboy's. Like, he got it perfect just by listening to the descriptions in the stories. That in itself is a pretty big freaking compliment. So, wherever you are, Les, kick ass. Hey, Spooky, how are you?
What?
Spooky Boo.
No, not you.
Nightmare Mistress.
These people. Oh my god.
Hi, Odin.
Hamster.
I do apologize if you can hear the Cobra Kai in the background.
Never apologize for the Cobra Kai.
Exactly. Insult them with the Cobra Kai.
You all don't like Cobra Kai?
Punch him in the face.
Then there is
Cobra
something
Kai.
like really seriously wrong with
It's
you.
well, that's a pretty assertive statement. I'm sure there are people out there who have nothing wrong with them, that Cobra Kai just isn't for them.
Punch him in the face with Cobra.
But that's besides the point. Whether you like it or not, you still might not appreciate the TV sounds in the background. So if it's too loud, I do apologize. Let me know, stuff like that. If the music is, I don't know if it's still going or not. I can barely hear it on my end. I turn it down so that way it's not coming through the microphone, also through OBS. So you're getting like massive weird echoes. And trying to be a good streamer host.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yesel. Did you make the Yesel run in less than 12 parsecs? And has anybody ever noticed that Han lied about that? At least if you're talking about Solo, Star Wars story. Like, he did try saying it was 11 or whatever. Like, it was even shorter. But he actually did it and it was 12.5 parsecs. And then he always tells people he did it in less than 12 parsecs. So he's still exaggerating a little. Just saying.
That's what Han does.
I know that. It's one of those little just key things that I actually
That's my
like.
foot.
Wow, they did a pretty good job with that. So,
Ow. Getting attacked.
Bum.
I'm being
cool.
attacked.
Alright, still hear the music. Good, good, good.
Ow.
Cobra Kai music.
Again, this is, it's
Ow.
1980s-ish. Can you go turn off the oven?
Okay, it's off.
Can you turn off the heater?
It's toasty in here.
It's very
It's
toasty in here.
toasty. I'm sorry. You're welcome. TMI, but like,
Yeah, it's Carpenter, 1980s Carpenter, John Carpenter-esque synthwave music. The guy who makes it, it's completely free to download and use. You can only use it in certain ways, but like in the backgrounds to videos and live streams, that he's perfectly fine with. I will be using this music to kind of like amp up the 80s feel of the channel coming soon. There is a new season 4 intro. Again, it's nothing huge. It's just a minor change. Well, I feel it's a minor change, but then I told a few people like, hey, you know the beginning of my Saturday stories, the let's begin, and then it goes do do do, and everyone's like, yeah, I love that. I'm like, well, I'm completely changing that. Like, I'm gonna keep the let's begin, but then it's gonna be a whole new song and a whole new video sequence, so it's going to be completely changed. And again, It's a minor change. It's the 30-second intro in the beginning of the stories. And wow, you want to see people freak out. I don't like change. Why are you changing it? I'm going to miss the old...
It's amazing! And you were just like, let's kill everything.
So, I don't feel it's all that big of a change.
It's a bad one.
It's not, actually, because I showed my biggest skeptics. I made the new intro, and I showed it to my biggest skeptics, and they were like, wow, that's really good. So, if I can win them over, I'm sure everybody will like the new intro. And again, it's only a change to, like, the first, like, you know, that 30-second clip. So, nothing too major. But I will also... yeah, but I want to... Yeah, but I do it for my listeners. I want to make sure they're happy and cool with it. And I will be adding more of this Carpenter-esque synthwave music into the backgrounds of videos, much like I did with this past Saturday's story, Omnis. Up until season 4, you guys might hear a track here and there, but I wanted to do one story before then that was all music from this guy. And that was this past Saturday's. And it really went with the story, like, really well. So, I'm happy with it. I like this new direction. So, the channel is going to go from very 80s to screaming in your face 80s!
80s! Oh god, it's catching. Actually, what am I doing?
Yes, Beautiful Nightmare, not only does she help write the Loss and Laments stories, she writes most of them. I think I've written one, co-written with another, and Doughboy I think has written 2 as well, and she has written the rest of them. So, I think I might have, did I kill my mic? Okay, good. Very much so Pimp Demon, but in a different way. Lawson's Lament, I wanted to have another... See, Lawson Lake is a place right by me. It's a real place. It's right near where I live. There's an abandoned campground right on the lake. There's some scary stories about the place, about these guys that fell through the ice a few years back. It's prime for going there, taking a look around, and writing a story about the place. The only challenge with the Lawson's Lament stories, the Lawson Lake stories, is they had the potential to be just like Locust Lake. And I didn't want to have just another Locust Lake. So I wanted to do something different. And I think Doughboy and Nightmare did too. Wanted to keep that same like lakeside scary story vibe, but with a completely different take. Different kinds of an evil presence, different kind of mythos. So yes, it is like the Locust Lakes, but also not. It's like just like a completely different take on a lakeside scary campfire story. And this one also has the ability to have tidbits. So unlike Locust Lakes, which you always got on Saturdays, because they were always, you know, these big production stories, the Lawson Laments, you'll get Saturday videos of, and you'll also get some tidbits of too, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, shorter videos. So that's another difference between the Lawson's Laments and the Locust Lakes. And it's getting to the point now where I do have to make a Lawson's Lament playlist.
Guys.
Cool. Take your time, Pimp Demon. I think it was you who was telling me you were trying to get through the Locust Lake so that way you could get caught up with Confronting Evil, because... bless you. Because the Confronting Evil series takes place right after the Locust Lakes. And that's going to be wrapping up here soon. So I know that... I know there's a lot of stuff to listen to. But it is all very worth it. The Lawson's Laments, the Locust Lakes, and the Confronting Evils. myself and my co-writers work very, very hard on our stories, and I work hard on getting them narrated and put up a lot of effort, but a lot of love. I really enjoy doing them, so I fully believe that you will. I'm confident that you will enjoy just about anything that you find on the channel.
Hello, cat. Kitten. Owen.
Sorry, I am playing with a kitten. Hi.
I don't know what.
Hi, baby.
I found
Hey,
here.
baby boy. Hi. Sorry, these kittens are absolutely adorable.
There's one that's all white with blue eyes,
And she's fluffy. She's white and fluffy with blue eyes.
actually recently I just gave them a bath because Kira.
Was playing in chicken oil
Yeah,
grease.
she was playing in chicken grease.
She got into the chicken pan and was inside the grease.
Yeah, so I washed them and stuff.
Oh yeah, Confronting Evil. Confronting Evil, it is my favorite series to write for, besides the Locust Lakes. See, I don't want to talk too much about the Locust Lakes and give stuff away, but there's stuff that happens at the end of Locust Lake that leads right into the very beginning of Confronting Evil. Confronting Evil is very much the successor, or really just Locust Lake hits the road. I don't know, Pimp Demon, if you've seen Supernatural. Sam, Dean, crisscrossing the country, saving people, hunting things, the family business.
Dying.
That is what Confronting Evil is. It is very, very much a supernatural. I don't want to say spoof, but it's close. It's very, very much supernatural inspired, but it also kind of sticks to very much the same laws and parameters that a Locust Lake story would stick to. So, it's a lot of fun. It has, there's two main characters. They're siblings. They crisscross the country. In this story, they're twins. There's almost like the token Sam character. That's played by Somber Puppet. And then there's the token Dean character played by Mary. Mary P. Because in Confronting Evil, basically Dean is a girl. It's female Dean. It's a really, really good series. And I can definitely understand wanting to finish up the Locust Lakes first before you move in to the Confronting Evils. And yes, there is obviously, not yet, we're still in season 1, and let me explain. I say season 1 because this is how the Confronting Evils are going. The very first Confronting Evil came out last October. There will be 10 Confronting Evils every year, well, within a span of 365 days. So it started in last October, and the 10th episode is going to be in June. Then you're going to have 3 months off, and then season 2 is going to start this coming October, and then you're going to get 10 more episodes all the way through until the next following June, and then 3 months off. Every season is going to have a seasonal story arc and a big bad, cliffhangers, the whole nine. So we're very much presenting the Confronting Evil series as a television show, almost like Ash vs. Evil Dead or Cobra Kai, where you get 10 episodes a year. But instead of releasing them all at once, like the series stuff, that we just release one every month or so we can squeeze out 10 stories within a 9-month period. But that is why I say seasons. Season 1, Season 2 is because we are releasing the Confronting Evil show like a series of seasons, because it very much is like a show. Like I said, very much inspired by Supernatural. But we just finished up Season 1, Episode 6, so we're working towards Season 1, Episode 7. So you actually are in a really good spot right now to finish up the Locust Lakes and then get caught up on the Confronting Evils if you're interested. I don't want you to feel pressured, like, go watch these. But honestly, if I'm being honest, you are doing yourself a great disservice if you are not listening to these stories. The confronting evils are some of my absolute favorites. Dean was not already a girl. Dean in Supernatural was a man's man. Sorry, I love Dean. That's my favorite Supernatural character. Loved Dean. I very much relate to Dean. Classic cars, 80s rock, pie, burgers, like, yo.
I hate burgers. Burgers are the bane of my existence.
It's, again, it's not like a feminine Dean. It's more like a masculine Mackenzie. Like, she's a girl, yes, she's a girl, but she loves food, never gains an inch, loves food. She hits like a 300-pound trucker, but she's tiny, she's small-framed. I love the trope of it, and there's so much, that contrast, just in that character alone, there's a lot of room for dynamic interplay. And then you add in the contrast between her and her sibling brother, and I take some of the roles that between Sam and Dean and then reverse it between those two. So kind of flip the script on some other things as well. And just, again, some of the interplay that it creates between those elements, these stories write themselves.
Sorry about the...
Hey, Cyber Shinigami, how are you, sir? Good afternoon.
Sorry about the coin noises in the background. I'm currently grinding this game because, yeah.
Mr. Nailhead Jason Voorhees. They had me at Supernatural. Yes, and just so you know, I am not offended by the Nailhead Jason Voorhees. People said I look like Pinhead Jason, and I do, so I can't argue with that. Totally cool with it, because that's Nailhead Jason Voorhees is an image that's going to stick in somebody's mind for quick categorical referencing, and it's awesome. Just late to dinner. I mean, trust me, I've been called a hell of a lot worse than Pinhead Jason or Spiky Mask Jason Voorhees. I've been called some things that I'm not going to say here on a live stream. It's happened. But I'll take the one that you said. I'll take that as a compliment, because it very much is a compliment. An alternative night. Yes, I did make the mask. It's actually, I don't know if I could always show you a picture at some point, in Discord or something like that. One of those dollar store hockey masks that you get for $1. They've got like the 6 holes in the bottom, and then they got like 3 holes right above the eyes on top, and then that's it. They're completely white. They're, got the expandable back. They're very cheap masks. I buy those in bulk. I'll drill out the extra holes. I'll cover up the holes that aren't supposed to be there. Widen out the eyes a little bit. And then I'll either add screws to it for spikes, or add the axe cut to it, or because I also make Jason masks as well, not just sociopathic pasta masks or sociopathic masks. I also make Jason masks too. But yeah, they're all fashioned from those dollar store templates. Nailhead Jason Voorhees. I'll take it. Like I said, been called way worse, and that's not even bad. Like, Nailhead Jason Voorhees. I mean, it sounds like something from Slipknot. I'll take it. It's totally badass. Johnny Lawrence would approve. That's awesome. I need a taco. I think after stream I'm going to go get something to eat. Because Sabian is hungry.
Oh, I'm hungry too.
Well, then we'll all get something to eat. How's that sound? Okie dokie.
Like, ow? What is this conversation? I dislike people that do this. Sorry. Currently, this person has been begging me for a free pet. Like a really good free pet. But I'm trying to explain to them that all of my good pets are in the dark matter machine to make them better pets. So I will give them this pet tomorrow.
Thank you. I loved Dick Roman. I was not a fan of the Leviathan season. I think that there are other Supernatural seasons better. It was still, don't get me wrong, watchable. It was good. Had its really funny moments. But I wasn't the biggest fan of the Leviathan season. But man, I fucking loved Dick Roman. Like Crowley, yes, loved Crowley too. Man, Dick Roman was great. Such a freaking smart ass. He's such a dick. I loved it. Like the whole Leviathan season was basically one big dick joke, which could have done without. But like Dick Roman as a character, like he was such a douchebag. Good talk. Love that guy.
Take the compliment.
Take the compliment. Exactly. Life goals. The guy is like my spirit animal. I love Dick Roman.
I'm a spirit. And that's Dad's thoughts.
Great.
Oh.
He had a big...
The turducken. That's all I'm saying. I love that episode. There's something funky in the chicken. Well, I'm not worried about it. That's all I'm saying.
It's duck and turkey.
I'm just not worried about it. I'm okay with it. When can I get my sandwich back?
Oh God, I'm going insane in this house.
Oh, and yes, the guy that played Lucifer, Supernatural's Lucifer.
He's awesome.
Oh my God, what a great actor. What a great... But I gotta hand it to Misha Collins. I gotta hand it to the guy that played Castiel. Because he played Dick Roman, when Leviathan was in his body, he possessing him. He played Lucifer when he was being possessed by Lucifer. Obviously, he was Castiel. He played himself as Jimmy, the guy who... Like, he was able to... And good. Like, and he did a really good impersonation of the guy that plays Lucifer. Like, I was surprised. I was really surprised that he did that good of a job. Because at first, I've always thought of Misha Collins as like, yeah, that's all he ever plays is Castiel. Like, he plays the same guy. Because I think I saw him in another movie, too, where he was... Basically, he was Castiel, and I'm like, it's all he can really play is this one character. And then they have him play all these different people inside of, his vessel throughout the series. And I was genuinely impressed. Fucking props to Misha Collins. Nailed it. And I agree. The Leviathan season would have really been a lot worse if Dick Roman wasn't in it. Dick Roman was hilarious. Just saying. Everyone's like, "You're such a dick. You're such a dick." That's the point.
It's in the name.
Like that's how he is specifically evil. He's a condescending douchebag, but he's usually right. That's the other part that's worse, because you hate him because he makes you feel stupid. Good talk.
Not you're fired. Good talk.
Yeah. The actor that played Lucifer in Supernatural, he also played Jacob in Lost. Which is actually kind of funny if you look at that dichotomy, because Jacob in Lost was basically God, who's the representation of all that was good, in opposition to the smoke monster, which was the representation of all that was evil. Yep. So in Lost, he played God, and in Supernatural, he played the devil. Like, and again, really good actor, because he played them both, like, really well, both roles. So, yeah, I agree. Very, very good actor. So is Hugh Laurie, while we're on the subject. The guy who played Dr. House. I haven't seen him in, like, anything after House, and that bothers me, because I loved that show. Loved House. Everybody lies, everybody dies. And it's never lupus.
I was gonna say, it's never lupus.
Lapis? Sorry.
See, I didn't like how big Chuck... I didn't like Chuck as a villain. I didn't like Chuck as the bad guy at the end, because I was like, oh my god, he's such a dick. But, like...
Yeah.
But Chuck, like, my favorite episode, and it just barely beats out Scooby Natural, because the Scooby-Doo crossover was fucking... I could watch it 10 times in a row and die laughing, tears coming out of my face every single time. That episode is fucking hilarious. My favorite episode, though, is Don't Call Me Shirley. It's the one where Chuck is talking to Metatron in the bar and finally reveals that he is God. And just the conversations that he has with Metatron are just, they're gold. You know, you created souls. Souls! How did that make you feel? Nauseous. Oh, awesome. Sorry, it's just great. But yeah, I wasn't fond of Chuck as the villain, but it did like Chuck as God a lot. Yes, Hugh Laurie played House. He did. That's why we're on Good Actors, and I haven't seen Hugh Laurie in like anything. Do you know he's like very, very British? Like very British. He has a very British accent. And if you watch House, you'd never know it.
Yeah.
Never know it. Yes, there's a Scooby-Doo episode of Supernatural. It's like towards the end. I think it's like season 13. There's 15 seasons. And it's literally one of my favorite episodes. It's freaking great. Sam and Dean get sucked into a television and they end up being in Scooby-Doo as cartoons. And the whole episode is a Scooby-Doo episode with Sam and Dean in it. And the jokes and stuff, and like zoinks, jinkies, and Ruby Dooby Doo, and son of a bitch, like all the catchphrases, and I don't know, it's funny. Even if you catch one episode of Supernatural, like I don't know, that one definitely should be at least a runner for which one you watch, because that's really, really good, a very funny episode.
You should just start at like 1.
No, I would say if you're not going to watch all 15 seasons, don't start at 1. Watch a show or two. And then maybe if you like it, you might want to go back and watch the whole thing. But I mean, yes, obviously my recommendation, watch Supernatural starting at, season 1, episode 1, and watch it all the way through.
My husband got me in at season 3, and
season 3.
I know like all the words to every single season.
So,
because I watched it like over and over and over again.
That's when they were at the hotel.
Which one?
When Lucifer's destroying all the pagan gods. That's the one when they're at the hotel. Yeah. That was season 5. That was right before Swan Song. When Sam went to hell. Yeah. You gotta go watch Supernatural. You have to. And then, again, you'll be like even more ready for confronting evil. But the fact that you like Supernatural, I mean, trust me, you will like confronting evil. If you like Locust Lake and you like Supernatural, you're going to fucking love confronting evil.
I even learned Chuck's song that he sang.
Oh my god, yeah, you guys have got to go watch Scooby Natural. Like, fucking episode is great. It's absolutely great. And new Confronting Evils. Don't forget about watching those, too. 7, Back in the Neighborhood. Confronting Evil, Season 1, Episode 7, Back in the Neighborhood, is not coming out this Saturday. It's coming out next Saturday. This Saturday, you're getting Carnality's Playground, which is an NSFW horror story. Not safe for work, not safe for children's ears, and if you are, if you're easily offended by sensitive topics and subject matter, this story is not going to be for you. This story is a little dark. I can promise you that anything that you might find offensive is in the story with purpose. It's not there for shock value. It's not there just to make you uncomfortable. It is there for a reason, and you find out all that reason, obviously, by the end of the story. But again, if you're offended by sensitive content easily, this story might not be for you. But I like it. Don't get me wrong. I read it. I've listened to it. I actually really enjoy the story, like the plot and stuff like that. I think it came out very well. And for what it is, I honestly believe it came out pretty tasteful. But then, yes, the weekend after this is going to be Confronting Evil Episode 7, Back in the Neighborhood. And this one is all about making a return. And I'm not going to say anything more than that, but you should be very, very excited for the next Confronting Evil. Promise. Fuzzy, I mean, if any of you have been able to get through Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex, that was also a pretty uncomfortable story with content matter that could make some people pretty offended. If you've gotten through that one and you're like, yeah, it's fine, no problems, man, then yeah, you should be all right with this. But if you got through that and you're like, man, this is kind of pushing the level, I don't know if then you're not going to like Carnality's Playground. But again, I'm not out to like, thank you, by the way, Nightmare, for the removal. But yeah, I'm not totally worried about you, because I'm pretty sure that I saw you at the premiere for DGSHS. So, you'll probably enjoy Carnality's Playground. And yes, yay, CE, Confronting Evil. The next one is going to be epic. And yes, it's already done. It's done. I've listened to it. I've made sure that it came out really, really good. Yeah. So, new Confronting Evil. I know you like DGSA. I sent it to you. Beautiful Nightmare said she was going to read Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex. I'm still waiting for that story to appear on her channel. I got a little queasy, but offended? Nah. Okay. Well, then, that's probably going to be your reaction with this one. It's the whole story. Like, Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex, the entire story was about, basically, the uncomfortable part. This story, the whole thing isn't based off of the uncomfortable part, but the uncomfortable part is more uncomfortable. So it's shorter, but more uncomfortable. At least the descriptions of what's happening. So just be prepared for that, but you'll probably end up having a very similar reaction. You're putting it up. You're putting up Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex today. Oh boy. I can't wait. Alternative night, all I could say is that I can't say. I don't want to give away the plot of the story. But you wouldn't be too far off base, I guess, with that. Like I said, you'll have to turn, if you, after it releases, if you don't want to watch it, I can always explain to you the plot and what it's about, stuff like that. But I don't want to do that before it releases. But yeah. Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex. Yeah. It's about necrophilia. And, well, technically, if you really want to know what Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex is about, see, way back when I was writing that story, it came to me that people, they do things and they don't think about the consequences a lot. Like, people do dirty things and they don't think about the consequences. Like, the whole reason those things exist is procreation and making more children. So why not take that I didn't think about that approach and turn it on its head? Necrophilia. And yes, it is a story that Dog Lover will not be listening to. I told her that it's not a story for her. So, alrighty. Throat's getting a little raw. We have been on for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here in a couple of minutes. If you guys have anything else you want to throw in, if you want to ask any questions, an alternative night, just so you're aware. Yes, it is very gross, very sickening, those stories. But the stories that there's this Carnality's Playground and Dead Girls Shouldn't Have Sex, they're the only stories that really reach that level. And trust me, you are properly warned. It's in the subject, the title, not safe for work. Then when you click on the video, you get a little text message with me narrating over it saying, be warned, this content is not suitable for all viewers. You may find this offensive. This video might not be for you. Then it goes into a video intro with me talking to the camera saying this video might not be suitable for all viewers. This might be offensive and might not be for you and stuff like that. So you get multiple warnings before you even reach the story. Well, see, it's a good thing that I put these warnings up, so that way, like, see, and I'm not saying it's bad, but like, if you get sick from the explanation of it, the last thing I would want is for you to accidentally stumble upon that story and really start listening to it, because then you're going to be 10 times more queasy than you are right now. So I'm glad that I'm glad that I put the warnings up, and it's for that reason. For this specific instance is why I put the warnings up. I don't even monetize these stories. These stories don't, because I'm not even going to try. In all fairness, the sound effects and stuff like that I get from YouTube. YouTube has all these sound effects and whatnot already. Like if I want, the sounds of people doing it, there's ASMR videos for that, and they're very explicit, very explicit sounding. So I mean, if I'm using sound effects like that, I'm literally getting them from YouTube. So, but it's not for everyone. It's that I definitely agree on. But I will say I don't put shocking stuff in my stories for absolutely no reason. There is a point to it, to the point where the story would not work if that wasn't in it. I see way too many stories and movies and stuff nowadays, TV shows, where it's all very offensive content, like grapes, all the time, and it makes me wonder why. Because this story, this movie, this show, it would have been the exact same without this scene. Why is this scene in the movie? Why is this scene in the show? It has no point to the plot. The only reason it's there is just to shock the audience, and I freaking hate that. I hate it with a passion. I hate that as much as I hate M. Night Shyamalan's writing. I hate people that just put that stuff in there for shock value for no reason whatsoever.
As much as I hate Ant-Year.
That's not horror. That's not. That's just showing you something absolutely vile and making you disgusted by it and be like, see, I got you. That's not scary, dude. That's not fear. That's disgust and appallment. No, I am fully in the belief that if you do add stuff that's like that into a movie or a story or a television show or whatever, it's got to have purpose. It's got to have substantial weight to the plot to where the story would not work if that was not in there. Here's a really good example. And I have only seen this movie once. It made me very uncomfortable. It's very integral to the plot. It's Deliverance.
I love that movie.
My wife loves that movie. I see its merits. I'm not a big fan of watching, man grapes.
Grapes.
But again, that movie would not have worked if you did not have that scene in it.
Nope.
It would not have worked. It wouldn't have been the same movie. There wouldn't have been the same story. That was with purpose. That I'm okay with. But just throwing it in some freaking movie where, like, yeah, this guy, blah, 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 and then, yeah, this happens, and then, but why? Why do you have to show it? I once watched a movie where they insinuated it and then they moved on because it really didn't need to be in the plot. It could just be kind of insinuated. And I was like, oh, cool, okay. So this movie gets it. Nope. At the end of the movie, the guy who did it ended up recording it on his phone and then showed it to the girl to give her extra reason to want to kill him. It didn't add... And she already had all the reason in the world. She didn't need any more reason to. So why? After you insinuated it and got through that part with such tact and class, why would you go back and retcon that with, now when you're least expecting it, now I'm going to show you what you thought we skipped? Like, why? I don't even remember that movie's name. And I probably should so I could tell you all not to watch it, but that movie wasn't even worth me remembering its name. That's terrible, terrible writing, and that's not a plot device. Alright, this is a discussion for another time. Alright, I will go ahead and just read a few more comments and close out the stream. Sorry I went a little bit on a rant there, but those are my thoughts. Yes, agreed. And I agree with you at 100%, Pimp Demon, because a lot of creepypastas put that kind of stuff in their stories literally to shock you. Oh, you're disgusted. I got you. No, that's not getting someone. I had someone so into a story, they were watching Tommy's Lunches last night, and they were so into that story that when the mother beeped her horn and I put the sound effect into it, it made them jump. Because the suspense was building. That's an I got you. That's a haha, I gotcha. I made you jump. I made you scared. I made you want to cover your eyes, and then you realize, oh wait, I'm listening to a story that's not going to do anything. That's a win. That's an I got you. Not, I put something deplorable and vile in here that you don't want to hear about, and it made you uncomfortable. See? Gotcha. That's not writing. But the problem is a lot of people think that it is. That's why these famous creepypastas are famous, because they're so good, because nobody can get through them without feeling gross. That's not good writing. It's not. It's not. But, on that aspect, you would like Carnality's Playground, maybe? And again, if you don't want to, it's fine. That's why the warnings are up. But just rest assured, I don't put any of that stuff in my stories or my content unless there's an actual purpose to it. I write the story, it comes out good, and it's like, okay, well, this is part of it. Do I put it up? It's a good story. Do I read it for you and let you all hear it? Or do I bury it and burn it and say, yeah, this should never have, even though it's good, this can't exist. And I don't think it's fair to just burn it and say it doesn't exist. Because even its story, even if I didn't write it, it deserves to exist on its own merits, just because it exists. Should I not make it available for everybody else to hear? I mean, I think I should, and then put up a lot of warnings, so that way people that don't want to hear that kind of content don't have to. And that's where I am with it. Yes, I don't think that would be a story for Alternative Night. I agree. And maybe not even Pimp Demon. Might not be a story for them as well. But I want to reassure them that I'm not putting up content like the content that they're referring to. I'm not that guy. I am a very strong believer in certain things. Watching certain content or listening to certain content makes me very angry. Not at the person who wrote it, but just that's how it affects me. It makes me mad. And a lot of the times I don't like that content in the stuff that I watch. I'll just turn it off. So I completely understand where you're coming from, but this was done with tact. Kind of like, what was it? Can't remember what it was called, and I know I should remember the name of it. It was about a guy who got a sexually transmitted disease from a corpse. And he was passing around a zombie virus. So again, that's another really good example. It's gross, yes. It's gross, it's necrophilia. But that's a story, or was a movie, that it didn't have necrophilia in it just to have necrophilia. It had necrophilia in it because That was literally the MacGuffin to the plot. It would not have been the same movie without that part in it. So that I can see its merits. And it actually was a really good movie. It was gross, but it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. Yes, COVID is also, Final Notice is a COVID story. And that's perfectly fine, Fuzzy. I believe I put that up as well, with like a warning. Maybe not a video warning, but I think I put it in the title, like COVID story. And then like in the description, I think I wrote something like, if this makes you uncomfortable, it might not be for you. Something along those lines. Again, good story though. I'm sorry, alternative. Again, I'm not describing anything. And just saying like how sometimes something shocking like that can have value to the plot. And then that's where these people that are writing the other stuff where it doesn't have value, they're like, well, see, this movie had it and it was great, so we're going to put that in there too. Yeah, but it was used differently. It was integral to the plot. You're just putting it in as shock value. And I don't agree with that. I think that's hack writing. So, alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now that I have made some of you sick to your stomach. I will bid you adieu. I love you guys to death. Thank you so much for stopping in this afternoon for Blood and Beans.
The beans are bloody.
Carnality's Playground this weekend. If you're not able to make this story because of its content, just know that I completely understand. Other than that, those with strong stomachs, or, aren't bothered by such things. I shouldn't say strong stomachs because it would imply that people that don't have weak stomachs, and I'm not saying that. So, but lack of a better term, those with stronger stomachs, I hope to see you this coming Saturday for Carnality's Playground. And a lot of other good things coming to the channel too in the future. So we will see you then. Hope I didn't make you too sick with all this crazy talk. Probably gonna end up with this Blood and Beans being demonetized because of the content discussed within it. Yeah.
Most Blood and Beans are demonetized because of me. So.
That's true.
Because I'm not 13 yet.
Yeah, it's true. Cool, man. Awesome. I'm glad that you'll get better. I really did not mean to gross you out, Alternative. I really didn't. I do apologize. It's never really my intention. My intention is to horrify you. It's not to make you feel sick to your stomach. I will check my DMs as soon as I have a chance real quick here, PA. And, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping in. We'll see you this coming weekend. Have a great week. Be safe out there. And love you all. Ta-ta for now.
Bye. Ta-ta.
TTFN.
Eat a biscuit.
It's literally the same